working because I just started it, but I'm on Twitch, so I'm about to see if it's working.
Okay. Twitch, are you working?
But I guess you would be able to hear any of like the weird static feedback that I was talking about on here if it does pop up. Because it's still kind of there, but it's not as bad, so it's like whatever.
Oh, really?
Cause like before it was worse, but now it's not.
Okay. Yeah, I wonder if it's my connection then. Because it is a tablet. Maybe I should be using my Vita, but then I can't. Well, decisions. Alright, we'll just go with this. This is really thrown together, just like my apartment right now.
I guess, well, I guess we could, well, I guess since PS4 is like about to come out, we could talk about like PS3 memories or something, or like PS3 moments or PS3 games that we really enjoyed or something.
Yeah, I guess so.
Be like mini retrospective or something.
Whoops, that was me. Yeah, for those of you, if anyone's out there listening to the behind the scenes, now or after the fact, I am moving on Saturday. So, I don't even have a computer out right now. And, yeah, it's just, there's stuff everywhere.
Okay. So, what episode is this? Episode number... looking it up. 214? 214, yep. Alright. So, about to push the button.
Alright.
Alright, I'm pushing the button now.
This call is being recorded.
Hello everybody out there in the internet, welcome to Aimless Babble Z, episode 214. I'm Ticket Master, joined by...
Practical.
So yeah, today we'll be talking about what we've been playing, some favorite PS3 memories as we look back before PS4 comes out, and there's not really any much news because new consoles are coming out and that's basically all everybody's talking about, so if there is any news, it's being drowned out by that.
I mean, that is the news.
Okay,
so,
cool.
and there's just like so much of it right now that
The hype is inescapable.
yeah. So you've probably heard some of it. Actually, well, I'll save it to later. But I am really hyped right now for PS4, and I just think it is Microsoft is about to get caught in the perfect storm, and yeah, I kind of see it going worse than people think for Microsoft in the next few weeks.
Yeah, you and Gamer had like the most hilarious discussion on Twitter. Or Gamer said something about like he put his PS4 game in his PS3 and he's like, it's not working. It was just hilarious.
I was just like, what was it? It was something like, oh, I'm so desperate. I put my PS4 game in my PS3 and it didn't work. And then I was talking about, yeah, I faked played PS4 by using my DualShock 4 on my PS3 to play Battlefield 4. Yes, we are that crazy. It was fun. It's fun. Good controller. I don't know about the PS4 disc and the PS3, but my thing was fun.
And then there's like a bit of static because Travis Cole has like aux computer because he's moving. So that's what that is. So sorry about that, but you know, technical difficulties and stuff.
Yeah. Ah, that's sad. I apologize.
So do you want to go first? What you been playing, or me?
Sure, I can go real quick. I basically only got to play um Extinction Mode. I think that's what it's called. The People versus Aliens part of Call of Duty. What's it now? Ghosts? Yeah, that one, the new one. And it was, I think it was my second time playing it, and we finally got deeper into it to see sort of, you know, the intricacies and stuff. And it's actually pretty different from fighting zombies in the Treyarch games, because one, the aliens move around in they're very much like aliens from the movie Aliens, in which they can climb on walls and they're just jumping up things, and they can get at you from anywhere. So if there's essentially no safe spots. And then they also did a I call it a Left 4 Dead 2 type thing, where they added the spitter. So like in the first game, you could sort of hunker down if you got boomered or whatever, but then the spitter came in, and you know, the point was so that you couldn't hunker down. The spitter would just spit acid where you were, and everyone had to flee. And so they have an enemy type like that in Extinction Mode, and so you can't do what you did in Zombies, where you just sort of hunker down. And like there was a few places on some of the zombie maps that you could just get all four people together, and you would have a long sight line, and there'd essentially be only one direction the zombies could come at you from, and you could just hunker down and kill all of them that way. Of course, you know, ammo was the problem you would run into. But with this one, there's no safe place. They just come at you from all directions, and it's crazy. Plus, they've varied the objectives. So before in Zombies, it's just about surviving, whereas in Extinction, you are protecting a drill, and you keep moving the drill from place to place to kill these alien hive things. And so you can't, like, there actually is a place you could hunker down, but if you hunker down there, you won't be able to protect the drill, and if it gets destroyed, then you fail also.
Okay, so for like the drill, is it like a thing where you have to be standing near it, or do you have to go up and push a button on it?
It's a lot like Payday's drill.
Oh, jeez.
So you put it there, and then you can sort of leave it, unless, you know, the aliens go over and they start attacking it. Then you have to help the drill. Although, unlike the Payday drill, it doesn't stop working randomly. So it's actually a good drill. It just gets attacked a lot, and you gotta go over and repair it if it gets broken.
So it's kind of like an escort mission for the drill.
Pretty much. It just, yeah. It doesn't get in your way. It just, it constantly needs your attention. And the difficulty ramps up really quickly. I think it's designed for you to level up your characters, because in Zombies, all four characters, even though they had different personalities, they basically played the same. They're just, oh, it's the Japanese guy, the Russian guy, the German guy. In this one, you can have different specializations, so you can choose things like, as the tank, you can get more health, and as you upgrade, you get more health and more melee damage. And so it's the upgrades only last in the current game that you're in. So every time you start the game, you have your specialization, but you start at level 1. And then as you earn points and money and stuff, you can upgrade those attributes. So I've been playing the tank a lot. I think because I like playing Brick and Salvador and Borderlands. And yeah, extra melee damage and extra health is quite good, but by level 5, it doesn't matter at all. They are chewing you alive.
So
yeah,
is it similar to the co-op mode from Resistance 2? Because it sounds kind of like that, since it's class-based and you have like stuff to level up. I guess it's like just the one map though.
Yeah, it's a little bit like it doesn't really feel like it though because um, in Resistance 2 you felt like you really needed to have the tanks there because they had the shields and then you could hide behind them and fire, and then you needed the medics, otherwise you die very easily. With this, it doesn't feel as crucial that everyone is sort of working together as a team. It's still Call of Duty-ish, so you can run around and be on your own, and then the only thing you really need other people for is if you get downed, they can revive you. But other than that, it has a much more lone wolf mentality, even though you are kind of working as a team. I guess the other thing they added also is, which you do work for as a team, is in Zombies, there was only ever one objective. You were just there to survive and just try to kill as many waves as possible. In this one, during every wave, they also give you sort of challenges. So, for example, the first one often is use only melee attacks until the drill is finished, like destroying this one hive. And if you accomplish it, then you get an extra skill point that you can use to upgrade during that match. And so it's quite helpful. It gives you a little bit of boost, and then you can upgrade that much more quickly. And it gives you more of something to shoot for in each round, rather than just, okay, we started the drill, now hunker down and don't get killed. It'll give you, like, that one's pretty easy. The one we had trouble with was maintain an accuracy of 75% or higher until the drill is done.
That sounds hard.
My friend was like, okay, we'll just fire one shot, and then... Or no, at first he was like, oh, we'll just knife it, and we started knifing. But it has a meter, and it says, like, oh, okay, knifing doesn't count. But then the meter is like 0%. It's like, oh, I think we have to fire at least one shot. And so my friend fired one shot, and he missed. And then he fired the second one, and that hit, and so suddenly we were at 50. I was like, oh, crap. And yeah, we tried various ways of sort of outsmarting that one. And then another one was kill 25 enemies while prone before the drill finishes. I was just like, this one is terrifying. You're lying down in the grass and you can't really see the aliens until they're right up on you. And so you'd just be surrounded with aliens like clawing at your face, and you're trying to kill them while lying there on the ground. It was hilarious. I'm like, I wonder what it must be like for the aliens in this this situation. Is like, what are they doing? They're just like three guys lying there in the grass. Yeah. So far, pretty fun. We found a thing. So in addition to the skills, you also you still spend money, so you still earn money while you're playing, and then you spend the money to buy things like more ammo, or, well, first of all, you buy guns just like in Zombies. But then when you run out of ammo, you don't run back to the gun spot and buy it again to get more ammo. Because Zombies had that, but when you bought ammo, it was cheaper than buying another gun. Now, if you go over and try to buy a gun, there's no discount. So what you can do is just buy ammo, and then what your character does is they bring out an ammo crate and throw it. And your other teammates can go replenish ammo that way too. And so there's that. There's just lots of different sort of perks, or not perks, just like useful equipment that you can buy during the game. And you go in, you choose your own loadout before you go into the game, and then you have all these things that you can buy. And yeah, it's just there's a lot. There's more going on in Extinction Mode than there is in Zombies, and so far it's pretty fun. Although the difficulty ramps up really quickly, and I can't see how anyone could get through it without dying a whole bunch of times and leveling up so that they unlock those different loadouts and different specialities and stuff before finally at some point say, oh yeah, we got all the skills and we got all the equipment, and now we can finally beat this thing. Yeah, so that's been pretty fun, and I'm pretty sure that's the only thing I've been playing. And even that, it was like 2 hours. I've mostly been moving stuff around, packing. By soon, Saturday. Hopefully I'll be able to play again on Saturday. Hopefully unpacking will not be entirely up to me. Oh, but I'll have to unpack my TV. You know, it's insane. It's not like I have entirely no time. I have about an hour before I sleep, because after you move stuff around, you can't go to sleep immediately. It's just, you know, the energy is not right. And so I sit there and it's like, oh, I'll play Vita. I turn on the Vita, it's like, all these games seem so hard. And never mind. I'll just browse and then go to sleep. Which is what I've been doing, so yeah, not really playing too much. I imagine this is how it's like with RPG, except he has to do this forever, whereas mine will end at the end of this week, hopefully.
It's actually funny because when I finished I'm the Night mode, actually no, it was on, I think it was like Monday night into Tuesday morning. I got home from work and I was like, okay, I'm gonna play some Batman, but like I didn't get around to it for like forever, and I ended up going to sleep like way later than I usually do. But then I was like doing the math on like, because I usually get like, you know, 6 to 8 hours of sleep, and I was like, but I did the math and I was like, oh, I can go to sleep like way later after I get home from work and still get like a decent amount of sleep and like wake up. I just will lose the time I have when I wake up to do stuff. So it's like, I think I'm gonna start doing that and like playing more instead of like waking up and then doing stuff before I get ready for work. I'll just like have no time before I get ready for work to like do anything, and then just do everything when I get back from work. So I'm thinking of like balancing my life towards that way, where it's like I just come home and play games and then do that for more time, because like lately I just like have been cutting that out until like Tuesday, Wednesday is when I crack out on games. But like during the Batman, I was like, I gotta play this Batman. And it's just like I've been playing like more and more and like sleeping less and less, and then I finally finished it. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this schedule or not, so it's like really weird. Because I'm like, wow, it's 6 a.m. or wow, the sun's coming up, and now it's like, and I'm like, do I really want to keep doing this? This doesn't seem healthy, but I don't feel any more tired than I usually am, so maybe I should. I don't know.
Yeah, you'll see. I think like, well, I remember a time when I was able to go with very little sleep, and I just can't do that anymore. And it's like, oh, I'm old.
I was thinking about that too, because I was like, you know, I used to like sleep less, but then like I'm getting more sleep, but I'm still just as tired. So I'm like, does it really matter if I'm getting a lot of sleep or not? Because it's like weird too, because I have like these weird sleep cycles where it's like I will only get like 6 hours, and it's like, but I thought you're supposed to get like, you know, 6 to 8. So I guess I don't need the extra 2, and I should just, you know, stop worrying about getting a complete 8 hours, because I'm not even getting that. I'm just like I will always like wake up really early for some reason. I'm like, why am I waking up so early? And just it's like I get like 5 or 6. This is so weird. It's like I'm like scheduling for me to have like sleep, and I'm not even getting the extra sleep that I'm scheduling for. So it's like I'm just gonna cut these hours out and put them into gaming, because that is something I would like to do more of than sleep.
Sleep is a weird thing that for some reason we still don't understand yet. Apparently there's new research that says our brains flush toxins or something when we sleep. And it's like, oh, so that's why we need it. Because before we sort of thought, it's like, oh, it helps you defrag your brain or something like that. But now I was like, oh, there may be something we can point to biologically.
But what I've been playing is Arkham 2, still good. It's still the whole dual protagonists, like parallel story. Oh, and the cool thing is like it did intersect where like the two characters met up, or the two parties met up, but then like they split up again because like one character went in to like go do something, and then you had these other two characters on Elk's team, who's the main protagonist from the second game that they introduced after Ark. Like two of his people went in to go do some side objectives, so now you're playing as them. and then Ark went to go do something, but then like the guy he was trying to get revenge on got away, and it's like, oh, so it's like, yeah, really cool what they're doing there. And besides that, it's basically, oh wait, actually I did play, so that's like the last week of Borderlands 2 Loot Hunt, I did that, so that was really interesting, because like I thought about it and I was like, I just played this game for 30 days straight. I don't think there's a lot of games I can say that for, because I will just play them until I'm done with them and then move to the next one, and I don't come back for it. So it's like, it's cool that they did something like that, where it's like, here's a thing that we're gonna have daily, like a daily objective thing type thing. So it's like, it'd be cool if like more games did that to just hook you into. It made me think of, I wonder if this is what playing an MMO is like. You just probably like log in for that day to like do something, and then you do it, and then that's your daily fix for the day. And I was like, I wonder what it would be like if more games did this. I'd probably play them a lot longer than just through the campaign and then toss them to the side and then never come back to them.
Well, like Mass Effect kind of did that with multiplayer for a while with the operations.
Yeah, it's like every weekend, but then they stopped. Yeah. And I was like,
I think there has been a lot more of that. Some of them are just like cool little objective things. So like Borderlands is like that. Resident Evil.
Oh yeah, Resident Evil 6 has it.
6 has it too. Yeah. I think Revelations they put it in there too. And then also like all the Rockstar games for a while. Although Rockstar games, they weren't giving you certain objectives really. They were just like incentivizing you to play. So they would say
like triple XP or something.
Yeah, triple XP for Max Payne and Grand Theft Auto 4 this weekend. And I imagine they're gonna do that for Grand Theft Auto 5 too. But still working out the bugs on that one there.
Yeah, I want to go back to GTA 5 Online. I just haven't had the time because I've been playing Batman. So Batman, I finally finished I Am the Night mode, and I was like, yes! And it was, man, it was crazy because I actually did die, and I had to restart, and it was very heartbreaking. And I was just like so bummed about it because one time it was before work and I was like, no, I was like, I need to get back to where I was at, but I can't. I was like, I was so just dejected, and it's like I felt like just crawling into a hole and just sobbing, and I was like, I'm not gonna get my progress back for a whole 8 hours or 9 hours until I get back. And I'm gonna be thinking about this all day, and it just ate away at me. But then when I like finally got back, I was just like so focused and just like beating down dudes. I was like, henchmen were going down. I'm like, Iron Batman. I was just so into it, just taking dudes down left and right. I made up progress so fast. I was like, man, I breezed through this game, even though it's like, I don't know, my third time through.
So the second time wasn't even a boss or anything, right? It was just some random thug.
The first time I had to restart Deathstroke boss fight. For whatever reason, I was just like not getting the counters, and then before I knew it, I was dead. And I was like, oh. Well, I should have been paying more attention. And then I was like super arrogant like the second time because it's just like a random predator room that you go into, and I'm like, this ain't nothing. I got these dudes, and I completely forgot that in that room, after you take down in like well, it's weird because like I did it the second time, or after I got back to when I got back to where I was at when I died in that room, and then I did it like a different way of taking the dudes down. So what happened was, actually it might have still happened, I just stayed off the gargoyles. But I forgot that after you'd taken down like a certain amount of henchmen, and like the Joker would prime, or not the Joker, but like the henchmen themselves would be like, alright, let's charge prime the proximity mines we put in the gargoyles. And I was like, crap, I forgot this part. And so it completely took away my strategy of, being on the gargoyles and being all above where I could see them. And that led to my demise because I had to go to like the bottom floor, and I took some dudes down. And then I looked through my detective vision, and I looked to double check before I took this dude down, and I took him down, and then I thought that nobody was coming, because I thought I checked to make sure nobody was coming, but I guess he like was still coming, and I just didn't see him. And so I took that dude down, but then blam, just shot with a shotgun, didn't even know the dude was there, and I was like, oh, he got me, and that hurt, that hurt a lot. And then I had a weird thing happen in the Firefly boss fight, where I thought I had a game over, and I was like, no, because what happened was like there's a QTE at the very end of that boss fight, and I didn't like know what button to push, and like I didn't know what was happening because like all of a sudden like the like little thing that happens when your screen when you die happened. And I was like, oh, are you kidding me? I was about to rage. I was about to rage, and I was angry, and I was like, F this game. I didn't even know I had to push a button, whatever. And so I went back to the menu, or it sent me back to the menu because it's like, restart from the beginning. I was like, no. And so then I went to I'm the Night mode, but then it loaded back up from that boss fight. And I was like, yes, I didn't have to restart. So I was like, oh man, save the day there. And then that was like my last session of, I believe Tuesday this morning, or yesterday, or Wednesday morning, or whatever. It all flows together when I'm thinking about this game, because I always play it at late night. So it's like Tuesday into Wednesday. And like that was like the last stretch of the game, and I was like, I'm gonna keep playing this game until I finish it because I'm that close, and I did, and I was like, yes, I felt so. But then what happened when I got to so when you beat that I'm the Night mode, you're supposed to get a theme that unlocks, but I didn't get it. And then like even like when I beat before the credits roll, that screen was about to come up where it's like, you've unlocked it, blah blah blah. So I was like, oh, I unlocked the theme, and then after the credits rolled and I went back to the menu, to the extras and the themes, it's like it's still locked. And I'm like, what? So I'm gonna like email WB Montreal because I'm like, I'm not playing that again. I'm not going through that again. I have my trophy. You can look at my account. I put it up on YouTube. Like, no, I am not doing that again just for some effing theme. So I better get it. Or I'm gonna be angry.
Wow. I had heard that the game was kind of buggy.
Yeah, it's really weird because like the first playthrough was just completely smooth and no issues, but then subsequent playthroughs or just playing it more, I've just seen like stuff is there's some stuff going on where it's like that didn't happen in Arkham City, or it's not as polished as I thought it was. Because there's even times in combat where it's like you're going for the knockout takedown when someone's like dizzy on the ground, and you go to push R2 and triangle, and like if you clip or not, if you're clipping with any environment, like you might not get there. Or it's the same with like some of the basic attacks when you're in combat. It's like if there's like like the wall, if you're really close to like a wall that's like sticking out and you push square to like strike them, and then Batman does his like attack animation, but he's caught on the wall and he doesn't make contact with the opponent, you'll drop your multiplier because he didn't fly across the screen to hit them. But like in Arkham City, you'd always just like automatically do that. So it's like, what the F? So it's like, man, seriously. But
Man.
and then like I'm so angry about the whole stupid, like I'm on the last Predator room and the whole Dark Knight system in that game of like you only have like a certain amount of.
Oh yeah.
So like basically I'm just gonna like start a whole new game file just to get that done and be like, whatever, it's gonna be separate. I'll just have this be the one where I get everything unlocked, and my other one will just be until they patch it or fix it or whatever the F. Whatever. I'm not gonna worry about it. But then I'm gonna make like a whole YouTube video series of like, all right, since this game is so bugged and effed on launch, let's go through and see how can we get these 20 or these 28, or actually that's like 14, 28, 42 objectives in the Dark Knight system. Well, I guess the last one's mostly automatic since it's through the detective stuff, so I have to get all the other stuff. But so I guess I will get that for a while because it's like that I can do on my other file because I've got like so much stuff done. But the combat's easy, and then the other one's the stealth one's kind of easy, except they take away the dude you can do it on. So it's like, oh. But then what happened? Oh, it's funny because I finally got like to the 14th rank or the 15th rank on the one that's not the Predator or the combat one. It's like the movement or whatever. But then it also has like some of the other weird stuff in it. And so it's like the last one is to solve to stop a random crime in every district. But I know I've already did that because I got the trophy, but because that challenge wasn't active before, I need to go back and do it again in one of my my first playthroughs. I'm like, whatever. So I'll finally get one of those, but what a pain.
Man.
Oh, and besides that, let's see what happened. Borderlands 2 I talked about. Mass Effect 3. So in 7-Day was like November 7th. So I went back and played a bunch of that to record and upload to YouTube. But in my last match as a Volus Vanguard, we did... okay, so what happened was like, it's a wave 10 extraction wave, and my teammate goes down like immediately. And I was like, no, teammate, because I always go to save my teammates. And this time, though, I had like no meta-gel, and I wasn't thinking, and I was like, go save your teammate. But I'm playing a Volus who have like no shields and like really low health, so it's like one shot I'm down. I'm like, no, and like, so now it's like, I'm going to come back and make like a revenge video of, I may have never extracted that time, Cerberus, but I got your number now, and I'm just gonna like play against Cerberus and destroy them as a Volus Vanguard because I was doing pretty good, and then my teammates joined, and then I was like, oh right, I got some support, and then they proceeded to not do as awesome as I was hoping, and then yeah, that was That was depressing. I was like, I cannot have my last Mass Effect 3 multiplayer match for the longest time ever. Who knows when I'll upload another one and be in failure. So I gotta go back and correct that. And then I want to go back and play some PC stuff because they gave me the Arkham Asylum and Arkham City Game of the Year editions on Steam. So achievement set, so I get to like restart from fresh. And I'm like, yay, more Batman! So that will give me an excuse to go back and play some more, and then like get some badges and stuff because I'll be playing. So yeah. Well, if it does have badge support, I'm not sure if they do. I hope they do. But I think that's all I've been playing.
Huh. So, wow, it's a pretty light week for both of us then.
Yeah, I've just been focusing on Batman, so.
Yeah.
Actually, I did finally start playing the challenge rooms as Deathstroke, so I'm almost done with all the combat ones, and then I will start his Predator room stuff. But then, that's the thing about him and Catwoman. Like, Catwoman, you knew what her, like, capabilities were, so you could play her in the campaign, but I didn't even, like, know what Deathstroke can do, since I haven't been able to play him in the campaign. And then I had to, like, look it up on the, I just went to, like, the pause menu to, like, look up the controls and, like, see what his quick magic stuff is, because I had no idea what it was. And I don't even, like, know how one of them works, because it says, like, a quick neural drain or something. It's, like, L2 in circle or whatever. So, like, I don't even know what it does, but he just, like, grabs them and, like, sticks something on them. I don't know what it does. But it's cool because he has, like, where Batman has, like, the quick gadget explosive gel. His is, like, a proximity mine, so he can just, like, drop it, and if they walk over it, it's an automatic, you know, blow up, take down thingy. So that's cool. And he has, like, the same grapple where it's L2 and triangle, so he has that. And L2 and L2 is like the quick. It's similar to Batman's quick battering, except it's a staff attack. I don't know what it's called. It's like quick staff fire or something. I guess he shoots something out of his staff, and then yeah. But yeah, it's just as fun to play as Deathstroke as it is to play as. Well, I guess. I mean, it's nice to have another character besides Batman, like it was in Arkham City. But he's no Nightwing or Robin or Catwoman, but he gets the job done. Whatever.
Is Deathstroke as good as Batman though? Because in Arkham City,
it's the same thing. Where it's like, you know, Batman can do everything, and then Deathstroke is like cannot do everything that Batman can do.
That seems weird. I mean, I can kind of understand maybe Robin wouldn't be able to, but Nightwing should be able to do all that stuff. And it's like Deathstroke should definitely be able to do all that stuff. Like in particular, I was miffed that none of them had weapon break. Because I started using weapon break a lot.
Yeah, I think he can do all that stuff, actually.
Oh, Deathstroke can?
I think it's just that he doesn't have as many quickfire gadget attacks.
Oh, okay.
Because Batman has the glue grenades, and he doesn't have any type of immobilizing projectile weapon. Everything else he can do like the break weapon and the multiple enemy takedown attack, triangle or circle and X, I think is that one.
The air one,
yeah. And
you just do all the batterings.
Yeah,
okay,
that's my favorite one.
Oh, cool.
That was so useful in the higher difficulties because it's like as soon as you get the enemies down, you just push it and it's like, whew, you just cleared a bunch of dudes out of the picture.
So, is there a point in doing the challenges before you have all the upgrades?
Well, I still don't have all the upgrades. I have all the combat upgrades, but I don't have all the stealth upgrades.
Okay. Yeah, because I was playing the challenges, like, wow, my moveset feels very limited right now. It's like, why am I even doing this?
Yeah,
I can't do weapon break, I can't do any of the other things.
Yeah, I did that. I had like a just for fun video when one of the DLC maps. I don't even know if it's DLC or season pass because I bought the season pass after like the second day because I was like, oh, whatever, I want everything. So I bought that.
Did you get the costumes?
Yeah, I got all the costumes.
Have you checked them out already?
Yeah, I checked them out. But yeah, I didn't know if the 100 to 1 map is a DLC map or if it's a season pass map or what. But like, I got it, so I played it. It's the one where it's like basically you have to take out 100 dudes, and it's so fun. It's just like they just keep throwing them at, like they just keep coming. And it's like, oh my, it's like a challenge endurance one, but it's not like it's not on the annoying level that the Arkham City ones were because they just kept coming until you died or until your time ran out or whatever. Where this one, it's like, you know, we're just gonna keep seeing them until there's none left, and then you have won. And it's like, oh, I won. So I jumped into that like the first or second. I think it was the second day, and I didn't have all my moves as Batman. I was like, oh, let's see how far I can get. And I got to like 60 or 70. I was like, wow, I got pretty far. So I was feeling good.
Nice.
So yeah, that was fun.
Cool.
If only that's the other funny thing. I still have not played the multiplayer. So that's the next thing I'm gonna do is play multiplayer,
Oh.
so I can finally jump into how that is. But I just wish it was co-op because.
Did I talk about that? I did play a few of the multiplayer.
No, I don't remember you playing or talking about it.
Oh yeah, I played a few rounds. It's weird. So I played a thug on all of them, and as the thugs, it's sort of a shooter, except they've made it so you want to use cover in the sense that not only does it protect you from getting hit, but your aim is pretty bad when you're out of cover. So if you get in cover, it sort of stabilizes your aim. And then yeah, it's people. You can't take a lot of shots, so it feels pretty. It's well, okay, yeah. So take that as it is. You can't take a lot of shots, and then you do want to use cover, and it's sort of like domination. You're trying to control these 3 capture points, and I think it's 3-on-3-on-2, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it feels a bit more strategic since it's not these giant teams of guys with guns. And then at some point in the match, there randomly appears a door, or like the door is already there. The door randomly becomes activated, and whichever team gets there first gets their sort of special character. So I was running towards it, but I didn't make it, and the other team got, I think they were the Jokers. So Joker's running around, and he has a bit more health, and that's really all I could tell. Because I tried to kill him, I was like, that took way more shots, and he didn't die. But yeah, once you have, I think it's once you have the capture points, then you start taking, like, every kill you get takes away tickets from the other side. And then, so then you throw in Batman and Robin. And so, since you're trying to use cover, you're often sort of stationary. And the map that I've played, the one I remember was sort of like a carnival-looking place. And there are just random bats flying through it. So you do get the feeling of being a thug in the Batman universe, because you're walking around and you'll just see, like, flutter go by, and it's like, what was that? And you'll be looking up and trying to see if Batman and Robin's up there. And then, yeah, when they get you, it's suddenly like, oh! They appear behind you and you're down.
Yeah, I could only imagine if I'm a henchman, like, just being in constant fear of, like, not the other team, but the 2 vigilantes that are out there somewhere that could just drop out at any moment.
Because it started out and it was okay, because you have lots of tickets, and it's like you die a few times, and well, team deathmatch, so you come back, and so it respawned. But then once you get down to the end, and there are no more reinforcements, it's just you 3 guys left. And I think we lost that game, so we got all the way down and we had no more reinforcements. But it was really intense because the other side only had, I think, 3 or 4 reinforcements left. And so it was like, oh, we could still pull this out. And so, we were being very strategic, and it has that SOCOM feel where it's like, this is your last life, so you're playing more carefully. And so, on the one hand, you're looking for the other guys, and you don't want to get killed by them, and you're trying to kill them to reduce their ticket number. But then, I think suddenly, like, one of my guys got taken down by Batman, and I don't think that reduces your tickets. So you come back. Because you're only knocked out by Batman and Robin. And he came back, and after I saw that, I was like, oh crap, now we have to be, yeah, that fear factor comes, and that's when you start noticing, that's when I started noticing the bats that were just flying randomly around. I was like, oh my gosh, there's just like random stuff that looks like Batman moving around on the screen. You start looking around, and like all the characters have, or all the thugs have sort of like detective vision, and so when you use it, you can see, or like you can see opponents through walls, but you can also see like Batman and Robin. And so for certain takedowns, if you're looking at them with detective mode, or whatever it's called for thugs, thug eyes,
Bad guy
they
vision.
can't. Yeah, they can't do their takedowns. So like one time, I saw that Robin was walking around under the grates, and I saw him, and then it said that his takedown had been locked, so he couldn't. You know, usually he could just pop out and take me down, because I was looking right at him with thug eyes. He couldn't do anything, and so he had to leave and try a different approach. And the thing is, like, that vision mode doesn't last very long. Once you start using it, and there's like an energy meter, and it starts depleting, and then after you let go, it recharges, but it recharges pretty slowly. And yeah, I really had that experience of being a thug in Batman's world. It's like, oh my gosh, we could win this, but it's all stacked against us now, and Batman seems to be gunning for us. Yeah, you got that. Oh no, yeah, that's right. The other team didn't win. Batman and Robin won that one. Because their objective is just to fill this meter that represents the amount of fear that the thugs have. And for a while, we were doing pretty good against them. We killed Batman and Robin a lot, and so their fear meter was reduced to nothing. And then, I don't know, maybe because we were focusing so much on that, we started losing against the other team. And then so we started focusing on not losing to them, and then Batman and Robin made a comeback by taking us out because we were being, well, yeah, we were shaking. Oh, what's that thing? We were nervous, and then we were whatever the end. I can't remember what it is.
Terrified?
Yeah, that's right. We were terrified in the end, and so we got owned. It was cool. It was pretty fun.
Alright, well, I guess that's it for what we've been playing. And we'll come back after this with a reminiscing on PS3 and stuff before PS4 gets here. Okay, part 2. Okay, we're back, part 2. PS4 is on the horizon, but let's send off PS3 in a nice ride in the sunset of all the great memories that we had and stuff.
And the interesting thing about this is that I don't think this is the end for PS3.
I agree.
I feel like at least third-party stuff, a lot of third-party stuff is still going to come out on PS3.
Yeah, that's like the big question is like, when will Call of Duty stop coming out on, or like Call of Duty and Madden stop coming out on current gen?
You know, it is hard to say. I feel like over the years, Activision has become, you know, they used to, like, Neversoft used to make the Tony Hawk games, and Raven used to make other shooters, and now all those studios are making Call of Duty. So you have all these studios making Call of Duty. You perhaps can devote the resources to keep making, on Friday, last gen, versions of the game, because there's still 160 million people who have those consoles. So why not?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing as like the install base will not grow to where you're selling the amount that you're on current gen for a while.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long time.
Especially since like the overtime sell of like Call of Duty is like really good too, because like we used to do MPD numbers and it'd be like every month Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Call of Duty just ends. The perennial placeholders on the MPD charts.
Yeah, I think it's been a good generation. I saw this thing recently that said the PS4 might actually be getting a boost from the fact that the PS3 didn't do that well, because the people who still went and got PS3, you know, we're the ones who we sort of stuck with it through everything, you know. Xbox, every time my coworkers in the past were always like, it's so weird because you know so much about games and yet you prefer the PS3. And I would tell them that should tell you something.
Yeah, it's funny, I had this weird shift this gen where it's like I bought 360 first and then I bought PS4 and then I was so conflicted. I just didn't know which side to choose. So I ended up buying two copies of games. I was like, I don't know. My friend's on both, and neither third party version is really better on the other. So I don't know what to choose. I'm just gonna both. And it broke me. And then towards the end, though, Sony and their amazing lineup of exclusives was just game after game, hit after hit, and like just left Microsoft in the dust. And I was like, oh, I know where I stand now. It's like Heavy Rain, yep. Beyond Two Souls, yep. Last of Us, yep. It's like, what can you say for this? Microsoft Gears of War, no thanks.
Yeah.
It's like
I mean,
Mass Effect, oh wait, it defected, so yeah.
it's just, yeah, Gears of War is very popcorn, and I wish I could remember where I read it. The thing that said, it was like, yeah, we love our Xbox 360s, or we like our Xbox 360s, but we will love our PS3s. And that was years ago when I read that, and I was kind of like, I sort of agree. It's sort of like the Dreamcast, where even though the Dreamcast died, people still really loved the games that they got for that.
Yeah. And then, like, it was so weird, because, like, I remember back in the day, like, it just seemed like, or to me anyway, as, like, time went on, 360 just never really evolved from like what it was like about like just like shooter dude bro-y stuff. It was like always Lost Planet was an exclusive, and it's like you shoot aliens, Gears of War you shoot aliens, or Halo you shoot aliens. It's like they never really got like beyond that, whereas like PS3 is like you have Journey, you have Flower, you have stuff beyond that is like just the shoot stuff explosions and violence and blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
there's just so much more to it.
So, like, would you consider the PS3 audience to be sort of, I don't know if it's the right word, but it's like we're the snobs now. Because like, say like a movie like The Avengers, it's sort of popcorn blockbuster movie, and does sells tons and tons, makes lots and lots of money. But you go to the Oscars, Academy Awards, and it's not even there.
I guess I would agree in that respect, because it seems like the least common denominator mainstream stuff is more of like when I talk to people on the 360 that they play, and I'll just like not talk to them about games. I'm like, oh, you play that? Well, yeah, I have nothing to say. So this is going to be really.
Yeah, I was like, what is there to say about Gears, really? I mean, you can talk about The Last of Us. Gears is like, well, it was fun. Then they made 4 of them.
Yeah, it's like, then I realized I don't really want to be on this ride anymore, and I got off. And I was like, I don't even care, so I'm not even playing Judgment. It's like, I've had enough. I've had my fill. I'm moving on.
Pretty much. Yeah, I think it was a very rough generation. I'm just now seeing what it's like to be on the side of the console that people actually like. It's just like, oh wow, now we're on the good guy side. We're not the underdog side.
Yeah, that was just crazy. Like this year's E3, how like the perception just changed. And,
yeah,
like,
it's insane.
The spin control by both sides and like the PR stuff by both sides is just crazy. It's like, oh, here's how you share games on PS4. Here you go.
Man.
It's like interesting because like Sony will always have like the one $599, but then like 360 or like Xbox One has like all those small things that they had on their unveil, like TV Sports Connect. Like,
yeah.
This is what we're about. We're not about games. We want to entertain you with other media that is not the one that you're using your console for.
Oh my gosh, it has been so crazy, and obviously we're sort of moving off the reminiscing part.
Yeah,
back.
Like we're completely off topic.
It was weird. Like up until probably last week, I had read so many stories about. Like there was first, I think it was like Toys R Us was like, oh yeah, we think that Xbox One will be more popular than PS4, and then there was like lots of analysts saying, oh, we think Xbox One is going to sell way more than PS4 at launch. And then GQ magazine was like, they apparently reviewed the consoles and they said, oh, Xbox One is better than PS4. And it's just like all these, I guess they're more mainstream outlets that are saying that Xbox One is going to be better than PS4. And I'm just like, "Ha- we live on different planets." The most recent one I saw was something like a guy thinks that the Xbox One is still going to outsell the PS4 in America, but the PS4 will do better just globally. And he says it's because people aren't going to change consoles anymore. So like in the past they would have, but now, with Xbox Live, people are just going to stay on Xbox Live, and that's it.
Oh man, it's like that I completely like. Yes, I think that's something we should talk about. Like PlayStation Plus just completely changed the game for Sony, and just especially
Yeah,
like for me when I was talking about like but like before I like actually chose the side of like okay I'm in it with PlayStation and like sorry 360, but you're cool and everything, but I love my PS3. It was like after PS Plus and like the free games and the discounts and just like that just kept like building and building. And it's like looking at that versus what do you get with Live, it just there is no argument to be made. It's
yeah.
like you look at it, it's like I cannot really justify this price anymore. So it's like after Xbox One, I'm not even going to bother because it's like if I have to choose two consoles and I'm paying online for both, that doesn't make any sense. So it's like I'll just stick with
Yeah.
PC and PS3 because it's free on PC, and then you have to play it for Plus, but Plus is worth it. So it's like this last year I've made like a video for YouTube every week because the deals are that good.
Yep. I think we're on week 46 of a year with PlayStation Plus. Almost 6 more weeks and you have to renew.
I know.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling to me. It's like how these analysts can be. I don't know. I guess yeah. We live on totally different worlds. Because in the comments of that, well, some game site reported on the analyst report, and there was so many people saying that, well, I got Xbox and Xbox 360, and this time I'm going for PS4. And it's just like all these comments down here invalidate that argument up there. In fact, I was just, yeah, I really wanted to play PS4, and last week I went out to the GameStops and I found one. I was like, oh my gosh, they have it here. And I was standing there playing Knack, and this guy came up behind me and was like, yeah, I'm thinking of getting that or Killzone. And he was conflicted because he was already getting Call of Duty, and he didn't want two shooters. And so we just started talking about Killzone, and then he just says, like, or, I said some pretty specific stuff about Killzone franchise and things like that, and he's like, oh, I've never played any of them. I was an Xbox guy, and, after it broke down 2 or 3 times, I've decided this generation I'm going with PlayStation. And it's just like, wow, everywhere I look, there are people saying they are not getting Xbox One because some reason or another, and they're getting PlayStation 4. And yeah, after this week and the hype thing, and did you see the thing about so tomorrow night, like for the midnight launch, Spike TV is doing one of their, I don't know if these are even called shows. They're just they're hype vehicles that are on TV and on the internet. And yeah, apparently there's going to be PlayStation 4 announcements
Yeah, I
there.
saw that and that made me excited because I wasn't expecting there to be announcements, but now that I know there are, I'm like, I hope it's not just here's another third-party game franchise that's being made in current or next gen.
But yeah, I just after this week, after seeing, yeah, I guess the reviews weren't as high as Sony would hope, but they're pretty good reviews on the game so far. But yeah, like imagine if the reviews had been the type that people would look at and be like, huh, I will have to seriously consider that game now. And with the announcements, I think it was last week. There was they released this trailer that was talking about their exclusive games, and it showed all the exclusives we know about, and then it said at the end 180 titles in development or something like that. And I was sitting there watching the trailer and thinking, it'd be really awesome if during the 180 development or titles in development part, instead of showing games that they've already showed previously in the trailer, they just showed, not even footage or whatever, just like maybe concept art or just some designer's scribblings or whatever, and just like show games that we don't know anything about yet, and just just allow the hype to grow itself. And it's like, oh, that would be so cool.
Was that the Drive Club trailer thing?
No, it was,
one with the Drive Club in it.
it probably had Drive Club in it. It was just the one that talked about exclusives. And I was like, oh, these are the games only on PlayStation. These are the games that are console exclusive. Here are the games that have exclusive content. And then it was like, yeah, and then there's this many other games in development for the system.
Oh, I might not see that one then.
I was just like, oh man, it'd be so cool if it was just like random teases, totally unexplained, and it's just like, these titles are in development, and you look, it's like, I don't recognize any of that stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, what is it? That would blow up the internet. It would be insane. But yeah, now this Thursday thing, and I'm just thinking, it's like, it actually is a good time to start announcing things that are further down the road, because Thursday night, that's a few hours before PlayStation 4 comes out. You've already done all of your hype for everything that's coming out at launch. So now it's like, what else do they need to do? It's like, well, in the past, some people think that the reason that the PlayStation 2 destroyed the Dreamcast was just like fancy tech demos that convince people to not buy Dreamcast and wait a year for the PlayStation 2. And can you imagine, like, on Thursday, if they just showed, like, oh, Naughty Dog is doing this thing, Santa Monica is doing this thing, here's more footage of The Order, and just like all of that stuff. I think any gamer who's not tied to a system would look at that and start thinking, yeah, maybe I should just wait or just get a PS4 now. And I mean, there's a lot of good stuff now, and then that's what they're showing me is going to be next year. I think there are ways that they could really destroy the competition at this point.
It's so crazy because, like, 3DS is on fire, but Wii U is such like a non-factor. It's not even funny. It's like they don't even like they don't even like exist in like the conversation wherever I go like online. People are like not even talking about it. It's like it's like unless you already know the Wii U exists, like you would not even know it exists from like what people are saying online. So I'm really interested to like to see how that develops in the next year, because I only predicted like getting more dire and crazy for them. So, but as soon as I see new Star Fox, I will be there.
I've been watching some of the footage of Super Mario World, or 3D World, and it actually looks pretty fun with friends. So I wish I had local friends to play with. And then I would have to have a Wii U, so, instead of 6 games, maybe I need 3 local friends, and then I can get a Wii U.
Yeah, it's funny, because, like, one of the bundles was on sale on eBay for somebody, with, like, the 32GB bundle, and then some games for it. I think it was New Super Mario Wii U and something else, and I was like, it was I think it was $2.99 or something. I was like, well, if it was $2.50, I'd buy it, but it's not. So when it's the Wii price, which is where I would compare it to, I'll go there. But until then, and there's no games for it, I'm like, yeah, I got enough. And it's like PS4's on the horizon. It's like comparing PS4 and like Wii U to me. It's just like I'm not even gonna like waste my time, because it's like, yeah, I clearly can just like wait for PS4, and like getting a Wii U is like a stopgap, which I do not even need at this point because my backlog is so big. That's like, sorry Wii U, just. I'm sorry Nintendo, I'm sorry we had to go through this divorce, but it happened, so yeah.
So I'm curious, like, you canceled your PS4 pre-order.
Yeah.
I guess you haven't really been following this week, or have you? Have you seen anything? Because they've been doing their whole like review event this week.
I've been looking at some reviews from some outlets. That's it.
Mm. So, any change of heart?
Nope, no regrets.
No regrets?
Well, it was about the reviews for like the games were for like Killzone and Knack, and which weren't going to get anyway. So I was like, oh well. I just I just felt vindicated, because I was like, oh well, yeah. Typical launch game. That's not as good as the current gen stuff. That's amazing because it's the 8th year of development. So not surprised. Tekken was right. Made the right call. I mean, yeah, Resogun. I mean, still looks amazing, but it's like, come on, like the one side shooter for like that's my day one game. That's just weird, and like I will extinguish the fun I'm having with that in like. Okay, well, probably not, but I don't see myself having as much fun with that game as I will with some other game that has like hours and hours and hours of play value.
So like Gran Turismo,
Oh,
maybe.
man, yes, I can't wait.
Because, like, I don't know, a lot of people have been sort of down on the fact that there's a lot of indie stuff, and so why would you buy... Everyone's saying that, oh, you know, it seems stupid to buy a $400 machine to play indie games. But then when you think about it, I mean, if you don't have the $400 machine, you can't play those games. It's sort of the case with any exclusive game. And regardless of the size, so it's not like somehow these smaller games are unworthy of a $400 purchase.
Well, for me, it also seems like the indie games would come to PC anyway. So if I don't get it on PS4, which I'm not going to now since I canceled it, I can just wait until they're on Steam and then play them there. And then also like the whole like the Steam Machines prototype when that came out, I was like, well. Clearly, this is going to be happening, and it's not just some like mythic level. We don't even know what it looks like yet. And like, they're actually, you know, this is actually going through. This isn't some Half-Life 3 for 10 years that we've been talking about, and like have not even seen like a screenshot. It's like, you know, this actually exists and will be coming out. So it's like I gotta wait and see how this plays out before I make some sort of monetary investment in a console because it could just change everything.
So you're gonna wait for Steam Machine and see what that's like first?
Well, I think that the thing is like Watch Dogs is my game, and it's not coming out until friggin' April, so I can just wait.
Okay.
My plan is to, since that's so close to E3 anyway, just see what the next gen lineup is for this next fall, and then if there's like awesome bundles coming out, I'll just get one of those, and then by that time I would assume that, you know, Steam Machines would have more concrete details, and if not, it's just more ethereal, vaporous BS from Valve that I don't have time to wait for it. I just get a PS4 because I want to play these awesome games. It's like your time's up, Valve, because you know you had a year, dude, and like Nintendo has like done this before. It's like you had a year, dude, you had a year on yourself, and what'd you do with it? You squandered it. No games on your console, nobody bought it, and it's all your fault. So you know, it's all your fault. Sorry.
Yeah, that sounds sensible.
Wow, this is just so funny because like we aren't even talking about like PS3 retrospective right now. It's so off topic.
That's what I was talking about like earlier. Before I was like, yeah, I think it's going to be really freeform because you can't. It's hard to talk about games right now without talking about next gen stuff.
Yeah, I know because it's like I can't. Because it's like, you know, I could wait for the PS3 version of Metal Gear Solid 5 and Ground Zeroes, but I'm not going to because the day that comes out, if it comes out before there's some bundle for it, I'll just go ahead and buy a PS4 and get it on PS4 like I did with Metal Gear Solid 4, which is what converted me to PS3. So, so I just couldn't wait, and I wanted to get it backwards compatible PS3, and I was like, well, and that's like after they stopped selling them. I was like, well, I had to pay up the nose for it, but it'll be worth it. So, and it was.
So, what about Vita then for you this season? You think you're gonna wait on that one, or
see? I was wondering.
It looks like they're doing deals.
They are.
The one I saw was Radio Shack.
Well, the thing about that one is was that the one? Was it with the memory card though? Or was it just
I don't know.
Did you do your Wi-Fi model? Because I saw that, but then I went to the website and they were both sold out. So I was like, oh. And then also I want that Walking Dead bundle. So I really want like a sweet price on that one, but nobody's like having any. So I was like, there's no awesome Vita bundles this year. Or at least for that one. I think there's like the Unit 13 one, but we'll see.
That still exists as a bundle?
I think so. It might not, because I saw it like listed on Cheap Ass Gamer, so it might have sold out or something. I'm not sure. But I'm holding out for Amazon to have like a sweet Vita bundle and get it from them. That's like they're like the last resort right now. So everybody has like basically leaked all their ads, and like there's been nothing for Vita. I was like, come on. Except for like the GameStop like $10 8 GB memory card, which I'm gonna pick up. So
I wonder if they're banking on PS4. You know, it's like this year, instead of a price drop, they're just banking on PS4 being so compelling that you'll want to get a Vita to accompany it.
I know
I don't
because
think that's gonna work, but
cause I'm thinking I could just wait on Vita because I don't need one, so I could just keep waiting. But it's like, ugh. But all the like stuff about playing your PS3 or PS4 game on like if you just transfer the progress, it's like that's such a good value proposition of like I could just play. I literally can play my console games anywhere now. So.
that has been really awesome.
Oh, actually, did you try out the PlayStation Mobile thing?
I did. It's I think it's only halfway there right now. So a lot of the stuff still relies on the browser. Um, or not a lot, like half of it. So logging in requires the browser. So when you hit log in, it opens your phone's browser, and then it goes to some secure thing, and you log in there, and then it logs you into the app. And then also the PlayStation Store is through the browser. So when you hit the store button, it just opens the browser. And thankfully, they did recently optimize the store for use on cell phones. So that works pretty well. The things that aren't on that are friends lists and trophies, which, man, it is so nice to use those things on a phone. It's a lot faster. When you look at trophies on PS3, it's really slow. Vita sped that up considerably, and then, yeah, the mobile app, it's essentially instantaneous. And they've added the thing that the PS4 will have where it shows like trophy rarity. So like Steam and Playfire have that thing, and now it's there too. I found out a lot of people apparently buy a lot of games, play maybe the first 2 or 3 levels, and then don't finish. So like the first few trophies for every game are really common. And then you look, even just like completing the game on any difficulty, those trophies seem to be a lot more rare. It's like, huh, that is unexpected. And then friends list, they increased the limit to 2,000.
Oh, yeah,
Although
I
you
saw
can only
that.
see 100. Yeah, it was funny.
It's like, yeah, we just upped it from 1,000 to 2,000. I saw. I was like, oh, okay.
100 to 2,000.
No, I thought
Which is-
their old limit that they're increasing it for on PS4 was not 2,000, or was it?
No, yeah, they said 2,000.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I saw like in the EU, like they said that, and I was like, oh, okay. I thought it was like 1,000, and that they were gonna have the new limit, and I was like, oh, they doubled it. Awesome.
I think the Xbox one is 1,000.
Ew, I see.
And then it wasn't announced in response. It was just, that's what the numbers came out to be. I don't know why it's 2,000. It seems like a weird number to me. But it was there, and then I started sending out friend requests to I don't want to send them to random people, so I started sending out essentially like celebrity friend requests to just people that I had heard of their PSN IDs before, just so I could see what it's like to be over 100 friends on PSN. Sadly, I have not made it there yet. I sent one to Will Powers, the season 1 of the tester winner, and he accepted, so he was my 100th. And then I was like, okay, I need one more. And so I sent one to Greg Miller, and then he hasn't accepted yet, so I'm still at 100. It was funny because he started tweeting out like, oh, I want to see, I'm going to compete with Yoast and see who gets 2,000 friends first. And like 20 minutes later, it was like, apparently PSN is telling people that I have 2,000 friends, so I win. And then today, Yoast was saying, hey, if you're, because he was pimping the mobile app, and he was just saying, yeah, if you're going to send me a friend request, type a message. It is way easier on the PlayStation mobile app. And I wrote an entire paragraph of stuff. I was like, hi, Yoast. Like, you're right, it is easier.
Okay, so I'm wondering, can that app be used on the Vita? Or is there like a similar app for that for the Vita?
The Vita doesn't have anything like that right now.
Because I was hoping that like all of the second screen BS that they will make for like smartphones and yada 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 that I will never buy will just be like be on the Vita, so I can just buy one of those and be like, all right, I got one, and I still never need a smartphone. Yay!
So it's weird actually. The PS4 Link app that they released for Vita, it has two different modes. One of them is remote play, and the other mode says second screen. And when you launch the PlayStation app for mobile, it also has a button that says second screen. So I'm wondering if both of them will be able to do the second screen stuff, like that's game specific. So things like, I guess, which game does it? Battlefield 4 has like a map thing, and you can change your loadout on a tablet or on a second screen. So I'm wondering if you'll be able to do that either through the PlayStation app or through the PlayStation Vita. Don't know, can't test it.
Actually, I was thinking like it might probably be like premature to talk about like a PS3 retrospective because there might be still awesome PS3 stuff coming since it is like the whole PS3 PS4 cross gen stuff is like they're not gonna leave it leave it to die and rot like Xbox One. I mean OG Xbox. So Microsoft just like pulled the plug on that one. That was crazy. So
Yeah, that was insane. I wonder what they mean by they're going to continue to support Xbox 360. Like, it's still going to work? Because they certainly haven't released anything in the last year.
It's like the last 12 months for Xbox 360 games that are exclusive to Xbox 360 has not been great.
Yeah, it was just like, whatever, we've won. It's funny, I've been thinking about Microsoft as a company. It's just like, have they ever made anything that was successful on its own without being sort of following a model that someone else established? So like Windows came from, I think it was actually Xerox who had the first Windows type operating system. But Microsoft made it successful. And then the Zune was them trying to capture the iPod success. And like, yeah, it was a really nice device, but no one used it. And then with the Xbox line, like the first Xbox was just, they tried to do Sony's sell for a loss and then make money on software, and it didn't work because hard drives were really expensive in the day, and all other systems had hard drives. The 360, and clearly they were like, yeah, we would have done better with Xbox if we had Final Fantasy and Metal Gear and Grand Theft Auto, and that's what they did. They went out and they got all those games. And so I would say like the 360's success is most similar to the PS2 success, where it wasn't really the first party, it was the third party stuff that people bought to play on PS2. And then the Xbox One, I wonder if they were like, okay, who do we copy now? PS3 was sort of a failure, and I think they looked and said Steam is really popular right now, and so they tried to do Steam and just totally miscalculated that. So yeah, like, can you? I guess maybe Live is the thing that they made out of nothing and made successful. But man, at this point, Live just feels like a scam.
Yeah.
We're going to charge you for something that everyone else gives you for free.
And then even like the free games they're giving away are just terrible. The newest one is World of Keflings, and I raged on that so hard on my video. I didn't know what it was that day, and I was like, what? I was like, I was like, whatever, Microsoft, whatever. It's like, do they even care? Are they even trying at this point? It's like 5-year-old games and terrible Avatar stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, here's Rainbow Six Vegas, here's Halo 3, here's Assassin's Creed 2. Games you already have.
There's a rumor that whoever the new CEO is might want to spin Xbox off of Microsoft so that it's its own company. If that happens, man, the competition will be fierce. Because can you imagine like a group that is only dedicated to making Xbox awesome and profitable? That'd be insane. Like right now, it feels like Xbox is run by people who are just like, oh, we want to make money, and so we don't really care about games and stuff like that. But since we need them to make money, we'll just go out and get some exclusives and pay Dead Rising 3's developers so they'll make Dead Rising 3 and pay all these other people and we get all these games and then we'll make money. But no, if it was just like a games company, if Xbox was a games company, that would be insane.
Well, I had some in my head to talk about. I completely forgot what it was though. I lost my train of thought. I was thinking, and I was like, oh, idea, and I lost it.
So now that we're at like a lot of people consider this the end of the PS3 era, and I'm actually hoping that more people jump onto the PS3.
Yeah, especially seeing these Black Friday deals with like The Last of Us $199 with like that.
Yeah, like once it gets cheap, because like I think there is a lot of probably like misgivings about PS3 games, especially the early ones, because back in the day, it was sort of the fad. Everyone hates everything on PS3 because I don't know why. But some of those games were really cool, and if you get a chance now to find them and play them, like Heavenly Sword, I think was really underrated. Just because, like, I remember back in the day, it was all about, oh yeah, it's okay, but it's not worth $600, and so that meant Heavenly Sword got really low scores. But it was actually really cool. I think there were a lot of games like that just got, they weren't judged for their qualities, they were judged as like, is this worth it? And it wasn't a $60 game, it was a $660 game. And I think very few games could be, I don't think there's very many games that could be said as like, yeah, $660 to play that for 10 hours is totally worth it. Wow, that's like airfare 10 years ago. Oh yeah, I want to sit on this plane for 10 hours. $600.
I'm still trying to think of what I was thinking. It was like a really good thought, and then I lost it. I'm like, oh, great.
No. I don't know what we're talking about anymore. Well, I am super pumped. Man, can't wait. There's just... Oh, I did not expect to end up with so many games at launch.
Yeah, the buy two get one. That was...
Yeah,
I saw that and I was like, they would announce that after I cancel my pre-order, because that might have changed my mind, getting more games for less, but whatever. Thanks, Amazon, for screwing me twice. Well, I guess Ubisoft is at fault, whatever. For the first time.
It was crazy, because, I already had my one freak out where I bought Battlefield 4, Call of Duty Ghosts, and, God, what was the third one? Oh, Killzone. and then the buy two get one free thing came out. I was like, crap. And so I ended up adding Knack, Need for Speed Rivals, and Assassin's Creed 4 to that. It was just like, well, so now I've bought actually 6 games at launch. And I bought the camera, and I bought another controller, and I have PlayStation Plus, which means, already 2 free games, plus 2 cross-buy games. So I have 10 games at launch. Yeah, like when Gamer first told me how many games he was buying, I think it was like 8. I was with you. I was sort of like, man, that's kind of crazy. And it was like instant backlog. And he was saying, oh, he's going out of the country, so that's why he needs to stock up first. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And then I ended up doing that. I was like, what is happening?
See, the good thing about that is that at least the indie games will be cheap. So whenever you go to like the store to get a bunch of those, it's like, oh, it's only $5, or it's like no more than $20 to get an indie game. Which is why I was looking forward to them.
True. I am looking forward to that. Some of the indie games look really cool.
Yeah,
And
that
man, like
that I think I forgot what it's called, but the ponchos one with like the dudes that run around and like shoot stuff, that looks really cool. Well, all the see, it's cool. Like that to me is like, it's like I'm not gonna call it like an emerging genre, but like I guess like the what it emerged from like, you know, Castle Crashers of like, you know, we can make these old school game designy games but with like current tech and like make it just crazy over the top. Like that's like one of the things I love about indie games is it just like it has like old ideas and like old designs, but like they refreshen it with like the new age tech and like what they can do with it to make it look better.
Yeah.
And like even like design it better, because it's like, you know, current day game design was like, oh well, we can even do this and stuff and all these other ideas. It's like, oh man, it just gets crazier and crazier. It's like it's very like familiar but completely just different, and it just like they break it, like it is like a breakdown of the like, or not breakdown of the genre, but like it's such like a shift from like what it is, even though it's like very familiar to you if you played something like it.
It's very cool.
It's like, yeah, it's like Contra, but there's like classes and you gain XP and you can level up your guns and like all this other stuff. It's like, oh well, that's not really like Contra at all, but okay. I'll buy it.
Like, what were the two that I talked about? So, like, Don't Starve is apparently going to be part of Instant Game Collection. And that comes out in January, I think. And then, yeah, what's the indie game that comes out in April? Well, I don't know. A lot of the indie games that they've announced seem to be part of the Instant Game Collection, which is crazy. That's like, wow. You know, the value of PlayStation Plus just keeps going up. Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to Helldivers, actually. That's the sort of Diablo-looking one with guns from the guys who made Magicka. And then apparently they're going to do a thing where every 2 months they wage sort of all of humanity against the aliens. And
oh, is that the one where it's like each platform has like a certain amount that they're trying to like beat the other platform? And it's like PS3, PS4, and Vita.
oh yeah, that one.
That
seems really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Like, oh my gosh, so much good stuff. My hard drive, I think, and oh yeah, and then just like the news about how the UI works, how the system works, it's all very slick. So I was kind of concerned because like right now when you say install a game, it's you put the disk in, you launch it, and it says install, and then you install and you wait for a while, and then you play. And apparently with the PS4, you put the disk in and immediately it starts installing. Like, you don't even have to confirm anything. You can cancel it apparently, but you know, why would you do that if you're going to play it? And apparently, yeah, it installs enough data that you can start playing within less than a minute for every game that a certain site tried. And it's just like, wow, that is so different than what I expected. And apparently downloads are faster now over PSN. And you can download multiple things at the same time, just like on Steam.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my gosh. So, like, when I got Ghosts on PS3, it was 10 gigs. It took me 2 hours to download and then 40 minutes to install. And so I was sort of thinking, is like, okay, so when I set this up on Saturday, I'm going to download Ghosts and Battlefield and Killzone. So each of those is about 4 times as big as Ghosts on PS3. And so, let's see, maybe 8 hours to download one game. And then it's going to take who knows how long to install. And I was just sort of thinking, like, man, so the first day, basically, I won't be playing anything. But now I'm looking at it, I was like, oh, actually, I could do it all simultaneously. And apparently I can start at, less than 8 gigs for Killzone or something like that. I was like, it might not be so bad after all. So, So yeah, brand new world. It's gonna be very exciting.
Oh, I think I was gonna say about like people getting PS3 like just now is like not only is there like a awesome lineup of current gen stuff, but there's also like the PSN classics of PS2 and PS1 games on the store. And, like yeah, they're not as like robust as I'd like them to be, but whatever, at least they're on there. So you can go and check out like all the Final Fantasies except for like 10 and or I guess actually yeah they have I think do they have origins? I'm not sure, but they have like so many of them on there and just they're all cheap and like the old Resident Evils. You want to play all the old Resident Evils and it's really cool.
Yeah, you can play all the Resident Evils.
It's like
they're all pretty cheap now too.
It's like it doesn't. It's like until we get more details on Gaikai, it may not like take away the sting of no backwards compatibility, but at least it's there to go and play if you want to like download it and play it. So it's not like it's not like they aren't there to play and be like, oh, I wish I could play this game, but it's not there. So.
Yeah, man, yeah, that with Resident Evil,
Whereas
it's really
Wii
cool.
U, it's like, oh, we're adding virtual consoles games that are already on the virtual console for the Wii, like once a week. Yeah. Thanks, Nintendo. Thanks.
That sucks.
While we add no new games. Because why would we add new games? Then you just add all the old ones that are already on the Wii.
We don't have any. They're still in the works.
Man, I remember I was so excited about Virtual Console, and like it kind of lived up to the promise, but when it got to like a one game every week or month or whatever, and just like the slow dribble of games that were slowly coming out, I was like, oh, F you Nintendo, F you. I was buying them too. I was like, I bought so many Virtual Console games and they stopped coming out with them. I was like, oh, well, so much for that. Whereas like every time there's an awesome like PS1 game I haven't played, I'm like, oh man, I gotta buy that. Like Legendary Dragoon and Parasite Eve. Oh man, it's like I never got to play this game. I got to play it. I was like, yay! I was so happy. It's like only like $6, like so cheap. It's awesome. Better than the Steam sale almost.
It's okay. Oh yeah, so if you want some news out there, Amazon apparently has a new PSN store.
That's what I was going to talk about. Technical, yes.
Codes.
Because we talked about the PSN store, and I was like, "Hey, Amazon, buy the codes back." And I was like, "Oh man, I'm going to spend so much money on Amazon now." When I saw that, because back in the day when they had it, I was like on there all the time, just buying crap and just browsing it because it's already on my computer and it's usually on more than my PS3. So now I get to do that.
Well, it's cool because it looks like Amazon is allowed to do their own pricing too. So some of the games on there are actually cheaper than they are on the PlayStation Store. Which is crazy. It's like, wow, so there's actually going to be competition?
And luckily it happens like right before Black Friday. So there's going to be some awesome digital deals, I really hope.
I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, this is crazy.
It's like, if PlayStation Plus free games and super discounted games weren't enough, here you go, Amazon. It's like, hey, you guys like us, and we know you like us, so, yeah.
Yeah, I guess the other news thing I wanted to bring up was FTL is getting an expansion. I don't know anything about it, and I haven't even finished the main game on easy mode, because it's really hard. But that is exciting to me. I guess the other news that they announced with that was that it's coming to iPad, and I was like, oh, I knew that this was a good sort of mobile game, and I hope it comes to other mobile devices too, because I would like to play it everywhere.
Yeah, I did bring up some, I opened some new news and some tabs in my browser just for when we were on news. So since we're on news, there's also some Payday 2 DLC coming tomorrow. It's going to be the Armored Transport DLC, and it's going to add, I guess, more robberies and playable, or not playable characters, but masks, and it's going to be $6.99. So yeah, there's that. There's a trailer for it. I haven't watched it yet, though. And apparently, you can merge your 3DS and Wii U eShop balances. So, It's not exactly the one ID thing I want, but I guess it's better than nothing. So I can finally start buying stuff on my 3DS because I'll be able to merge it with my eventual, hopefully, Wii U, if I ever get one. So yeah. So I might pick up some digital 3DS games, maybe not. Though my A button is kind of like starting to die, so I kind of need to get a new one. But luckily there's like a ton of Black Friday deals for the 3DS, so yay for that. Too bad the 2DS is too big, I'd get one of those, so yeah. There's a GTA Online Beach Bum update with new stuff. I haven't read it, so yeah. But it's GTA, so I'm sure if you care, you already know. That's which is I don't know what date it is, so yeah. Oh, we already talked about the PlayStation app. That's about it. Besides the Nintendo Direct, I haven't watched yet, so... Or I'd have more stuff to say, but you know, it's Nintendo, so... There you go.
I can't wait till I can play again. Just gotta finish my move. Get all organized, and then it is game time.
It's really funny, like, even though I cancel my pre-order, there's still, like, a small part of my brain that's like, I still want to buy PS4 day one. I still want to buy it. Like, I still kind of want to, like, I still might, if I see one in the wild, and, you know, it hasn't been bought, I might get it, but then, it's like, I don't know.
See, I think what it is, like, I wish some of the reviews would address this, because a lot of reviews sort of, they just feel very sterile, and I would like to know if they think that the people who want a PS4 and, you know, pre-ordered back in June, when they get it, are they going to be happy or are they going to be disappointed? But instead, like, all the reviews are sort of for a general audience. And it's like, is anyone going to like this thing? Well, it's like, I don't know if those people matter right now.
There was a really good episode of the bonus round on game trailers where, like, Pactor was like, you know, they'll sell... Oh, wait, no, that was Pack Attack. It was Pack Attack, and he's like, you know, they ship 5 million. Or was it 6 million? Or whatever. He's like, they'll sell, like, 5 million, like, easily. And, like, you won't be able to find one in a store until next year. So, yeah, I'm sure anybody that goes out to get one, that, like, to play the games for will be satisfied just because it's the same games that are on PS3 right now. And since everybody likes those games, I don't know why they wouldn't like them with prettier versions of them. And Killzone and Knack.
Yeah, guess that's true. Oh, it's hard to imagine. Because, like, from what I've seen, most of the complaints with Killzone and Knack are that their stories aren't that good. But as far as gameplay and, like, mechanics-wise, like, it seems really polished. And, like, graphically, they look really good. And it's just like, if these are the launch games, you know, I don't think there's ever been a launch like this, really. Usually, the launch games are sort of you look at them, it's like, well, yes, it's better than the previous generation, but it doesn't look that much better. Whereas something like Killzone looks way better than current generation. And yeah, it's like, wow, I don't think I've ever experienced a launch where everything came out and it felt polished and they didn't feel like launch games. You know, oftentimes
just like
launch
a
games.
tech demo like Wii Sports.
Yeah. And
it's like, this is the best we could do with the time we had, guys. Sorry.
I mean, did you play Smuggler's Run on the PS2?
I did play it. Not for very long, so it was not that great.
Yeah, it wasn't that good, but it just looked like a sharper, less blocky PS1 game, even though it was still kind of blocky. And it was like, this is it looks better, but it was definitely like, this is a launch game. And there was it Enchanted Rings or something like that? Like, From Software had a bunch of PS2 launch games. And they all felt sort of like, this was rushed to launch, and you can tell because of, you know, the polish is lacking here, and it's sort of wonky here, and, you know, mechanics feel half-baked and stuff like that. But with this launch, everything feels like, well, one, you have the benefit of the annual franchises, which have evolved a lot. And so there's like, yeah, those don't feel half-baked because they are fully baked. They're probably overcooked now. And that's why, that is more of a detriment to them than being half-baked, because it's just, some people don't like these games anymore. And then the new, next-gen only games seem like they are, they're ready to be released. And even the ones that have been delayed, apparently they're only delayed for a few weeks. A lot of them will make the launch of the EU, or the EU launch of the PlayStation. And it's like, things are going really well.
Yeah, and then we have the second wave Japan stuff we haven't even talked about, so that'll be cool.
It's like, this is the perfect storm.
Either it comes out here, or I'm really hoping that on the PSN this gen or next gen that they don't segregate the stores and just have like everything for every market.
That would be awesome.
Even if it's not in the language you can read.
I mean, I think that Sony is sort of pulling for something like that with their that team they assembled to do all the third-party stuff. And I guess in the end it does come down to the publishers who actually own the properties, but it seems like, yeah, they recognize that there is this, perhaps not everyone in the group, but like little parts of the group will be really happy if certain games get localized.
Yeah, because that's like how I've always felt about like PlayStation, is like when it's at its best, it's like the zany Japanese stuff, like Tokyo Jungle and just like crazy stuff like that you don't get like from the Western market.
Trash Panic. God, that game is hard. But it's so good.
Yeah, now I'm like super pumped to see like whatever that game company does next. Oh my gosh, just that's all I'm thinking about right now. It's like, oh man, what's that game company's PS4 game gonna be? Oh my gosh, just cannot wait to see.
Amazing. Yeah, so alright. Near future. There's really exciting stuff. Tomorrow is the launch hype show on Spike and streaming. And apparently there are megaton announcements there. Did you see the thing where Yost, even he was surprised by one of the announcements?
That you retweeted.
I love that video. It was like, oh, really? And I was like, really? There's going to be announcements like that? That's insane. So that's not related to Uncharted or whatever Naughty Dog or whatever Santa Monica is doing, because he would know those things. I wonder if it's related to Metal Gear, actually.
I know, because Kojima was like tweeting a bunch of like pictures of stuff. And he said something like, expect a big announcement about PS. I was like, what?
He was like, Megaton announcement. I was like, does he know what a Megaton announcement is? Like, I don't know. I don't recall. I don't recall his record on that. But man, that should be really exciting. And then
since like Metal Gear Solid, Ground Zeroes and 5 are like pretty much almost done, he can move on to something else. Hopefully, finally, something Kojima can do that's not Metal Gear. It's like you keep saying it's the last one, and it's not the last one. Konami just keeps roping him back in. Like, we need the money, dude. Sorry, we'll pay you though.
Yeah. So that Friday, the rest of the PS4 game reviews come out, and obviously the system comes out. And then, how far is Gran Turismo? Oh, Tearaway is next week, and then Gran Turismo is 2 weeks after that. So, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of like another reason like why it comes to my PS4, because I knew when I got Gran Turismo, like I would just crack out on that like I did over the last however many. Cause, like, once I get those games, I just don't, like, the world stops existing, and it's just crazy.
But the pattern I've noticed with your crackouts, except for Mass Effect, is that they don't last very long. It's like, it's very intense for a few days, and then it's just like, I have completely consumed that game.
I was thinking about that when I was playing Borderlands 2. I was like, if there's only a game that could like keep me as engaged, like, like for this amount of time, like at this like ferocity, I'd be so happy. That's what I'm hoping for, Destiny. Come on, Bungie, you know you can do it. That's the target we're aiming for here.
It's a giant Borderlands that lasts forever. That would be cool.
Oh man, what the F? Gran Turismo 6 is on a Friday too. Seriously. When did Friday become the new Tuesday? This is seriously.
I think like Nintendo has been doing it. It's whenever it's sort of a mainstream.
I thought those were Sundays though.
Targeted at mainstream, then it's usually the weekend, and then if it's targeted at gamers, then it's like a Tuesday. Like core people go to stores on Tuesday. Even like movie people. New movies come out on Tuesday also. Comics come out on Wednesdays?
Yeah, Wednesday.
Yeah. Maybe because, I wonder if there's collusion. It's like, people who watch movies also play games, so they want to go to the store on Tuesday and just get all those things together. And comics are sold in a different store, and they also like comics, so we'll put that on another day.
That's a good question. But yeah, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Aimless Babble Z, as you're maybe listening to it in the line for your new PS4, and like you're as giddy as Tropical and Gamer are.
I am super giddy. Yeah!
And we have no idea when RPG will be back because, yeah, he is caught up in crazy schedule time.
I know. Apparently he's going to upgrade his internet. So
yeah,
that's
that too.
nice. Yeah, apparently I got my... So, totally random, but insane internet story. So, our area is serviced by Charter Communications as the sort of cable provider. And I guess one of their main rivals in the area is AT&T and their Uverse service. And so, at our new house, I called Charter because I found out that Charter, for the same price that I'm paying now, I can have twice the internet download speed and 4 times the internet upload speed. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've been wasting money. And so, I was like, okay, AT&T, bye. I'm going with Charter. And so the guy came out and he's like, okay, I gotta check the box outside. That'll be like 15 minutes or so. Then I'll come in, hook up the stuff inside and then test out the modem. And he was outside, and 15 minutes later he came in and he was like, so it looks like this house, whoever lived here before, had AT&T, and AT&T's guys, they cut the cable cord going into the house. And apparently it's this big rivalry in that area where AT&T's guys, every time they install Uverse, they cut the cable going into the house. And I was like, are you serious? I was like, yeah. So, I went out and I saw like, oh, AT&T, and then I saw this dangling thing here, and it's our cable. And there's the hole, and they plugged it up, and I can't even find the other end in there. And so we had to like take down pieces of the wall and like find where all the wires were coming into the house. And like, oh, here it is. Okay, so we should be able to thread one out here. And it took like an hour. It should have been like 15 minutes, but it took like an hour. And I was just like, that is insane. He's like, yeah, they always do this. They're just trying to slow us down so we can't get as many contracts. Because a lot of people will be like, oh, well, then I'll just get AT&T. And I was like, oh, no. It was nuts. And so, I am internet ready already. So hopefully I will be able to continue the podcast until RPG returns. But I guess, heads up, we generally go on a break sometime in December. And also the week of Thanksgiving, because we do this on Wednesdays, and Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday. So, Yeah, stuff to look. I think we have 1 week before
Well, I think,
Thanksgiving.
don't we do like some sort of like Black Friday preview though? We might do it on a Tuesday or something. I don't know.
Oh,
Or maybe if we can.
so
I'd have to look up our schedule for the last however many years. That's what I
actually,
was
yeah.
thinking.
So our Black Friday preview has to be next week then, because yeah, usually we do it the week before Black Friday.
Okay. All right.
So because we usually don't do the Thanksgiving
Yeah.
week podcast. So oh yeah, so that's gonna be next week. I guess luckily the deals don't seem quite as
Yeah.
good.
There's like not that many good deals. It's weird.
Yeah, but we'll let you know what they are. I think it's because mostly it's on current gen stuff. So it's like, well, we all have systems already. These deals are irrelevant to us. And we already bought Batman, even though it's going to be $30. Like, we got Batman. But yeah, no, we'll find something for you. Oh, and to answer the question from last week, no, I did not finish any games.
The streak ends at, was that 1 or 2 weeks tropical that you finished?
I think it has to be. I think it can only be a streak if I finish more than one. Oh, which I did. I finished Call of Duty and Battlefield.
Yeah.
So yeah, the streak ends at 2.
So the streak ends at 2 weeks for tropical.
Man, I gotta do better. Oh my gosh! Because I've been packing, I have seen the number of games that I have, and it is ridiculous.
Yeah, at least you're not like me, where like you found a copy of a PS2 game, and then you're like in your PSP games, you're like, wow, I didn't even know I had this on PSP. It's like I had a game on 2 platforms, I didn't even know I did. That was crazy. Sega Genesis.
Yeah,
Good job.
I've been pretty lucky that I haven't rebought any games. Because yeah, a lot of those games I saw, I was like, I have this. It's like, it's brand new. It's still shrink wrapped. I have something like 30-some shrink wrapped games. And like, this is retarded.
Yeah. There comes a point when it's like I don't even need any more games, and you're just like,
Yeah.
one a month. That's all I need.
I think I am gonna have to go on some sort of break or retreat and just just like, okay, enough of this stuff. And I think it will actually be okay for the next few months, since I will be the only one on the podcast with the PS4. So I'm already on the cutting edge. You always have new stuff to listen to.
See, that's what I'm thinking really hard about. Is like, do I want to have like a memorandum on no games next year, and just like not buy any new games
entirely,
and just
wow.
try to kill the backlog, or like kill it as much as I can, and like see out what I can do in like 1 year's time. And then I will reward myself with a PS4 or Steam Machine. We'll see who wins. That'd be very interesting.
Yeah, it would be. Wow, that would be a really interesting year, actually. I would totally do it, but I know that I won't be able to do it.
See, it's like I think the thing is like I should. It's like the only games I will get are my free PlayStation Plus games, and everything else I will not buy.
Oh.
And then it's gonna be an experiment, and then like I'll see how much money did I save not buying any games this year.
Well, I mean, obviously you would save all of it, or like, you mean if you buy them later when they're all really cheap?
Oh yeah.
Like
or do you
a year.
I guess just like over the course of the year is like how much more money would be in my bank account?
How many games would I have bought if I were buying games? So every week you look at the releases and like, oh, I wanted that one and that one and that one, and I'm not getting any of them.
That'll be weird. I think I might do that. It's like I think I can do it. I've done the 1 month thing for like a year or like many months, even though I kind of break every November, whatever. I don't think it's gonna happen this time because I've like got every game this year that I wanted. So it's all the stuff on sale. I'm like, whatever. Except for Steam sales. That's a problem. Dang it.
So like South Park comes out next year now.
I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to South Park because I saw that new trailer when they delayed it again. I was like, it looks like the show, but then it doesn't look fun. So.
Oh, just like not. Yeah, the combat looks sort of.
It's turn-based, but it's I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll have to. I don't know.
But Watch Dogs, so.
Ah, crap! Watch Dogs, dang it.
See, in my mind, it's like, well, I know Infamous comes out in the first half of next year. It's just like, I want that game. So already, I cannot even say that I could possibly even do this.
Oh, I guess I
Man.
should. I guess my goal would be like I could probably like wait on Watch Dogs since like I have GTA 5 already, so it's like whatever. And like GTA Online, I haven't even touched that much, so I can still go back and play it. But like until E3 gets here, I can like just be blown away, or hopefully blown away by like whatever's next. I can just like I could at least make it to like E3 next year of like not buying anything. I think I can do that. That'll be like my goal for next year. E3 or bust, no games.
Wow. This will be a very interesting podcast.
Like, so Tegan, are you still in your sobriety for no games? I'm still making a guess. I haven't bought anything. Yeah. All right, I guess that's good. That can be it for this episode. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and anywhere else that we're on the internet. And what'll happen on the next episode of Aimless Babble Z? Will Tropical go back to finishing more games and be completely blown away by his PS4 or regret his purchase? Will Tekken actually buy a PS4 that he sees in the wild, or will he be able to find one at all? Who knows? Find out on the next episode of Aimless Babble Z.
Yay.
And anybody out there in the stream, even though it looks like there's nobody out there in the stream, thanks for listening. And we'll be
Anyone
back.
listening to the archive? Thanks for listening.
Yeah, or the archived video on YouTube. Thanks for listening. And we'll be back again next week. And yeah, until then, we're now signing off.